All right, folks, coming at you from the shores of the Great Slave Lake right up here in scenic Yellowknife, Northwest Territories, Canada.
How lovely.
Yeah, this is Do You Know Jack radio show, and of course, my guest today is the amazing man, the myth, and or the legend, Glenn Hughes.
How about that? Here we go.
Yes. How's that for an introduction there, sir?
That sounds like a very marketable title.
Well, now you are doing something really incredible. You have got a track on an upcoming compilation called Rock Against Trafficking. How did your participation in that project come about, Glenn?
Oh, about 5 or 6 years ago, I was at my friend Chad Smith's house in Malibu, and his next-door neighbor was over, named Gary Miller. Gary Miller is the producer of this particular project, and I was the first artist to go work with him to start laying the tracks down for the rockagainsttrafficking.org thing, you know, and Gary wanted to do police songs or sting songs, either or, same thing for me. And of course, we all know Sting is an amazing songwriter. So Gary kept it, the topic was it's all about child slavery and human trafficking, and we've chosen Sting to be the writer that we're going to cover these songs. And of course, I said to Gary, "What would you like me to sing?" And he said, "What about Roxanne?" I said, why not? Let's go do it. So about a week later, he's recording the song, and I went into his studio and sang the song. You've heard the song by now. Yeah. And it's the first take. If you know anything about my career, I never normally do one or more than one or two takes.
Sure.
And it really, when I'm singing these lyrics, of course, you know that song is about a lady of the evening.
Yes.
But when I'm singing it, it's a very sensitive lyric. And, of course, I started thinking about all these kids that have been taken and all this devious activity. And I must say to your listeners that $150 billion a year are exchanged hands between these devious so-and-sos, where our children and our siblings and our friends are stolen and taken from our very midst. They're flown off in private jets or to wherever in the world, and they're never to be seen again. Of course, Elizabeth Smart, who was abducted all those years ago, she's safe now. But there's not many good ends to these stories, Jack, where we lose our siblings and our friends and our kids to these awful, demonic, devious sons of bitches.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, now, I mean, you know, obviously human trafficking is the topic. I mean, and you sort of voiced, you know how it's something near and dear to your heart. But I mean, is this something that historically you've kind of been, you know, a champion of this cause?
No, and I'll tell you why. This is going to make sense, I think. And you may have uncovered this as well. It's drugs and alcohol, which are the two biggest, you know, devious profit organizations in the world with multi-billions of dollars.
Yeah.
And sitting right behind it, Jack, sitting right next to it in third place is human trafficking.
Yeah.
And I must say to you, when I got involved in this, I knew about human trafficking. I travel around the world and I see and hear about it, but I did not know how powerful and corrupt and disruptive it is. And how, as Americans and people from Canada, the good people from Canada, probably don't realize how, on such a grand scale, this operation is.
Yeah.
As I'm talking to you, brother, someone is getting abducted right now. And my job is to carry the message to educate as many people across our planet as humanly possible. We must look after and protect our own. We have to keep guard and be very vigilant because these devious people are in the hordes taking our kids. out of our homes and off our streets. And we've got to come together as a nation of people and stop this. And we've got to be aware. We've got to be very aware.
Now, I'm sure the drug trade and human trafficking, though, aren't necessarily, mutually exclusive, right? Like, I'm sure there's got to be some correlation between the two, eh?
Oh, yeah, you'd think so. I mean, both of them are so demonic and devilish. I mean, I've traveled so much across the world and seen and heard about these things. But when I'm involved in it and see statistics and see videos and working with these people and survivors and parents, my life has changed. I'll never be the same.
Yeah.
And it's my job. It's my job to carry this message, not just by singing on the song, but to literally go out there and let people know that we've got to stop this. We've got to come together and protect our own.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, let's talk about the the actual rendition of Roxanne you're doing for this this album. I mean, you've taken a slightly different take on the arrangement. You start out with a beautiful falsetto line there.
Yeah. Like I said, Jack, when I heard the arrangement, I didn't want to rehearse it. I just said press record, red light went on, and what you're hearing when you hear this is you're hearing, it's definitely different with keeping the embodiment and sensitivity of the lyric. But I wanted to create some, if you don't mind me saying so, I wanted to create some epic sadness to bring to this song. It's basically a loving, sensitive piece. My heart and soul were crying out for people to hear how deeply touched I was singing this song.
Yeah. Did you struggle even while you were recording to maintain your composure, Glenn?
Well, if you've heard the song, you could hear my breathing was getting pretty, I was getting really choked up in there, simply because it's such a great lyric, and knowing what I'm singing about, and knowing that this song would be the lead song, the song that would be the first single, we all knew that this would be the one.
Yeah,
I felt that I had a message to deliver, and I had to ask my higher power to do just that, And I again, keeping the melody. I mean, I've chosen to keep exactly the same melody as Sting. You can't change. Who would want to change the melody? But those little things at the start and the end of the song are very Glenn Hughes sounding things.
Yeah.
But the song is an amazing song. We all know the song, don't we?
Yes.
So when I went in to sing it, I had to keep that beautiful melody, and the vibe was intact.
Mm-hmm. In your long and illustrious career, have you had the chance to cross paths with Sting on more than one occasion?
Yes, I have. Yes, a remarkable man, a very talented man, a husband, a father, a studious man, someone I admire, really good at the arts of acting, writing, just a really good scholar of life, the kind of fellow that I like to associate with. For sure.
Well, now, not only is there this Rock Against Trafficking project coming out, but I mean, you've also got, a little, mini, well, I guess it's not so much a mini tour, but I mean, you've got some European dates coming up on your Deep Purple Live, which is pretty exciting.
No, it's that, I'm about to embark on a 18-month long Glenn Hughes classic Deep Purple Live. It's all the songs I recorded and wrote all back in the 70s. It's the first time I've ever done a show like this where it's a full production show of all those hits from that wonderful moment in time in the early 70s where you can never repeat that. So I've never done a show quite like this before. And hence, I'm going to be very, very busy, not only in North and South America and Canada, but all over the world. I'm going to be going to Cairo. I'm going to be playing in, Morocco and Egypt and Pacific Rim, and it's everywhere. And hopefully, it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I guess what I was thinking, just as you were talking about, the extent of the tour and whatnot, I mean, has there been any consideration of recording some of these shows just for posterity's sake?
Yes, we are. I'm recording all of the shows in South America, which are happening in April. Only because I need to get this on recorded.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody should record their music that they recorded all those years ago, later in life. And in South America, I have an amazing career down there. I think it would be fantastic to play these songs and record them down there.
Yeah. Now, would this be like filmed or just audio, or have you even gotten that far yet?
Well, what we're doing, first of all, I'm going to give you an exclusive. What we're going to film, we're not going to film South America. We're going to film other stuff going through. I'm making a documentary, Jack. So there's going to be some stuff, I'm filming everywhere, really. But the show itself will be recorded later on in the year.
Mm-hmm.
I think it might be recorded in the US or Canada. So we'll have to see and wait. We'll have to wait what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, and this would be revolving around the Deep Purple live stuff.
Yeah, I mean, as you know, the band are breaking up, and we're all, gone our own separate ways.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, Jack, I've never done a full show like this before. And by the way, this is fantastic. What I'm not doing is I'm not playing studio arrangements of the songs. I'm actually doing live arrangements from the mid-'70s of these songs that were taken from California Jam or live in Europe or, live in LA or live in Paris or live in Tokyo. I'm doing stuff that no one has done, which is duplicate those arrangements that we did early in the 70s, which is pretty remarkable, actually. It sounded pretty good.
Yeah. Well, it's awesome to hear that, obviously the vocal instrument is in tip-top shape. I mean, I've seen various different live things that you've done just even in the last few weeks, like with Joe Satriani for the G3, and man, your pipes are really really firing on all cylinders.
Thank you.
So that's great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I am one of. I have to say this to you. I've got a lot of friends in the industry, as you know, and a lot of my peer group, I won't say who, that a lot of my friends are either retiring or taking the foot off the gas. It just so happens that I'm not. I just feel for everyone in life to have a go or do what they want to do. I'm never going to retire. I don't think it's possible to retire if you're a musician. So I just keep going, and I've been very blessed to have never lost my ability to sing in the octaves and the ranges that I did in the 70s. Yeah. I never did smoke cigarettes, and I haven't drank any whiskey in over 30 years. So I think it really helps when someone takes care of their art form, So I take care of my voice. I do yoga exercises, and I really watch what I eat, and I warm my voice up. And you won't talk to anyone more grateful than me this year, my friend. I'm so grateful to have been given this gift, and I'm going to carry that message.
Well, I mean, now, just as one final little thing here, I mean, Black Country Communion, of course, you're back with Joe Bonamassa as well, which is amazing. And I know you had, BCC4 come out September 22nd of 2017. But I mean, are you and Joe still in touch and even maybe thinking about a follow-up?
Well, Joe wants to do number 5. And of course, Joe and I are very close. We're doing a BCC show down in Miami on a boat in the 26th of February. Going to go to Montego Bay. And that's going to happen on the 26th of February. We are talking about another album. I don't think it'll be till next year because we're all so busy. You can imagine we're all so busy.
Oh, yeah. Joe's always got 5 or 6 things on the go.
Yeah. the good thing about Joe and I is we're such good friends that we will continue when the time is right.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
you can't really put a date on it. You can't put a date on it because it's difficult to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So what we just keep doing is we keep the plates spinning and we just keep moving forward.
And that's about all you can do, man.
That's all you can do. And I'm okay with that, by the way.
Well, coming out this spring, the compilation record Rock Against Trafficking. And of course, you can hit up Glenn Hughes' social media to check out the lead track on that, which is of course a cover of The Police's Roxanne. And if you want to get in on the music and the message behind this amazing record, go to rockagainsttrafficking.org. Glenn Hughes, like I said off the top, my pleasure and honor to be able to chat with you today just about some of the things that you've got going on, man. It was an honor.
You're very welcome, Jack, and God bless all of you up there.